Okay, now take a look.
Okay, but I have to go to my page, right?
Right.
John, you need to get over here. Because we're going to post this to let everybody know that you guys are here, okay?
There we go. Which,
Oh,
not
no,
the
wait,
group.
that's the group.
Yeah.
I did the wrong one.
Oh, Kenny's watching. Hey, Kenny. Use but yeah, it should be.
It's just slow, that's all.
But they want us to not block the doors. So we're going to scoot down this way a little bit.
I think this is it.
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's working? All right, good.
Like Pick Will or Die, I like.
Now I don't know what.
Yes, ma'am.
I got it.
Now I'm panicked.
All right, we are live here. Facebook.
Great crowd out here, even in the rain.
Indivisible District 3.
Monster of a health care bill, a so-called health care bill. So the bill came out yesterday, and the Senate bill is worse than the House bill. It makes deeper cuts, it hurts more people, and it's worse for Ohio. So we're all here today to tell Senator Portman that we're not going to stand for him voting to hurt Ohio, to hurt our health care, to hurt our families, to hurt our community. We're here to say we want you to vote no. Vote no on the AHCA. So last time when we rallied to stop the House from voting for the AHCA, we started off with one of my favorites, which is, tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
That's great. I love to hear that. This is what democracy looks like. People out here voicing their opinions. It doesn't look like a small group of senators behind closed doors creating a bill. It doesn't look like people voting for rich Americans to get a tax break while our poorest people lose their health care. A bit of a predicament here. This vote has been unusual. This bill has not had any public hearing. These senators have not had any input from their constituents. This is not going through the regular process. This is being snuck through behind closed doors because it's so bad that no one would stand for it. So we're lucky enough to have Meryl Nyman here today. Meryl Nyman here today, and she went to Washington, D.C. To tell Senator Portman that Ohio citizens won't stand for it, and she's going to give us an inside view of the process that the Republicans in the Senate plan to take with this bill. Woo! Hi everyone. It's working. So Stuart and I, and I'm here. I don't know if there's any other folks here who were on our bus. We drove 7+ hours to get to D.C. to get in front of Senator Portman the only way possible, which was to join his weekly constituent coffee. If you want to take a look on the Indivisible Columbus District 3 page, you can see the full video of our discussion with Senator Portman at the coffee and our sit-in afterwards. But we took the opportunity to sort of turn his coffee into a bit of a Q&A because he doesn't normally take questions. Unfortunately, he didn't have answers, which is really disturbing because this is coming to a vote soon. So, a couple of things. Senator Portman had said publicly that he wanted hearings, that he didn't like this secret process, even though he was one of the 13 or identified co-drafters. And so one of the things we said directly to him in D.C. was that, well, Senator Portman, there's a really easy way to make sure that there's a hearing before the vote. Don't vote yes without a hearing. They need your vote. He didn't respond, right? That you know, it's sort of like your child saying, you know, I'm going to do my homework and not doing it, right? Or you're saying I'm a good citizen but not voting. So he needs to put his actions where his words are, or his words don't matter, and we can't give him credit for feeling like there should be a hearing, but not doing anything to make sure there's a hearing. He was also asked the question, how many deaths are okay, Senator Portman? How many deaths will you allow? And he sort of mumbled and bumbled like there really wouldn't, you know, maybe there shouldn't be any, and that would be best if we were working on it. He didn't answer. There will be deaths if the Senate bill, as currently crafted, goes through. And he's not willing to sort of take his lumps and say, you know what, that's just life, that's what we think is best. Sometimes people, you know, deserve to die if they're not making enough money. I mean, that's really essentially what this bill is about, right? So that was the hard question that we asked him. We asked him about essential services, which are not required under the Senate bill in its current form. His staffers wouldn't answer us, and Senator Portman wouldn't answer us. He didn't have a position yet on whether it was okay to not mandate coverage for essential services, which includes things like mental health, addiction services, maternal health. We have the highest maternal death rate of any first world country. That's horrific. Here in Ohio, we have an awful infant mortality rate. We have a vast number of children who are on Medicaid. The Senate bill cuts Medicaid more than the House bill did. I don't agree with President Trump on much of anything, but the House bill was mean. This bill is just as mean, if not meaner. And so we need to get that across. Procedurally, here's what's going to happen, guys. So they have submitted it to the CBO. They have to do that under reconciliation. They'll get the score back. But they can amend the bill, and they will amend the bill. So at the last moment before the vote, the majority leader, Mitch McConnell, will swap out the bill for a new, clean bill, right? That bill probably will have some little things that are going to make the four conservatives who have said that they won't vote for it in its current form happier. What that will be, we don't know, but they'll probably do something to make them happier. My guess is they will throw some additional money at the opioid crisis, a separate pot. That will make our senator happy. But that's a very specific, narrow way to address that problem. It won't cover any of the medical treatments that are associated with problems of addiction. It won't cover the mental health treatments. And it won't cover the insulin for the diabetics and the services that children need who are covered under Medicaid, and the chemotherapy treatments for the mother with cancer. You know, opioid addiction is a horrible problem in Ohio, but it certainly cannot be addressed to the exclusion of the health care of all of the rest of Ohio's citizens and the rest of the country, for that matter. Or Planned Parenthood. Or Planned Parenthood, right? And I still don't know. So there's a problem with the Planned Parenthood exclusion for the funding, whether that passes muster under the reconciliation process. So maybe the 1 year they can get it through the parliamentarian. Sherrod Brown's team actually thought it might go all together so that they didn't have to deal with that problem. Whether it's still going to be raised as an issue, I don't know. But certainly, if you're someone like Senator Portman who says you're concerned about, sex trafficking, Planned Parenthood cuts are not the way to address that problem. If you're concerned about poor people in rural counties, that's not a way to address that problem. So we need to sort of keep the pressure on. Portman is going to equivocate. This is just based on watching him, how I think he normally operates. He will express his concerns, his wants to protect Medicaid, his worry about the opioid crisis, they're going to throw him the bone. He's going to vote for it at the last minute. So unless the pressure is really hard, this bill's going to pass. It's going to pass. And when it passes, then it's going to go to the House, and likely they're just going to probably vote it up in its current form. There's not going to be much time in some sort of a committee. At least that's the thinking, again, from Sharon Brown's public policy team. They think it's likely just to go, and that, maybe the House will reject it, but most likely voter fatigue, they're just going to sign it on. So unless we keep the pressure on, we cannot wait. We cannot assume, because 4 senators have said they're opposed, that this thing is dead. It is not dead. We cannot assume that Senator Portman's vote is insignificant. It's hugely significant. He has asked both on his Facebook page and on Twitter to hear from constituents. Make sure that you're telling him in both those locations just what you think. Get your message heard. Keep the phone calls up. Keep the pressure up. It's interesting because he thinks that we're purely asking for public town halls and a public forum on this for political theater reasons. And honestly, if I was purely out to want to get Senator Portman out of his job, I would tell him to vote for this bill. Because people, I think, will be so hurting in 6 years that it may help him move on out, right? But we're not here to just try to get Portman out of office. We're here because we want him to do the right thing. And we want him to stand up for what he says he believes in. He knows better. He knows that this is a bad bill. He just needs to put his vote, behind his integrity, or save his integrity and make it happen.
That's right. Hey, Bob, do the right thing.
So I'm going to give it back to Nicole.
So thanks for all that information, Meryl. And I hear people wanting to chant, I think. So what I heard from Meryl was that if this bill goes through, people will die. People in Ohio will die. And that's why we're here. And the other thing I heard is that they're not having public hearings. They're not hearing from constituents. There's no town hall, no input from healthcare experts, no input from policy analysts. So let's do a little chant. No hearings, no vote.
No hearings, no vote. No hearings, no vote. No hearings, no vote. No hearings, no vote. No hearings, no vote. No hearings, no vote. No hearings, no vote. No hearings, no vote. No hearings, no vote. No hearings, no vote. No hearings, no vote.
Change it up. No town halls, no vote. No town halls,
no vote. No town halls, no vote. No town halls, no vote. No town halls, no vote. No town halls, no vote. No town halls, no vote. No town halls, no vote. No town halls, no vote. No town halls, no vote. No transparency, 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 no vote.
Now, we're lucky enough to have a healthcare policy expert here with us today who's going to talk to us a little bit more before we get to the die-in portion of our event. So I'm happy to introduce Steve Wagner from the Universal Healthcare Action Network. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Is that getting it?
Yeah.
I'm not super good with this.
Yeah.
I tend to wave my hands a lot, so good luck. So I think it's really important to talk about, first of all, to emphasize what Meryl said, we're asking to make sure that there are hearings on the final bill. Okay? So they're not trying to switch us in the end, okay? So that's a big ask that we're trying to make sure happens. I think the other piece of this is this trick on the essential health benefits. So they're going to say that they're protecting pre-existing conditions because they're going to say that they're going to tell insurers that they can't charge you more for a particular plan if you have a pre-existing condition. But if they remove the essential health benefits and they leave that to the states, then the types of plans that can be offered change substantially, such that there can be these really very limited plans that may not even include drug benefits. And therefore, if you need to have drug benefits because you have a pre-existing condition, you are out of luck. You are going to be in those plans that are very expensive, and you're going to be paying a lot for those plans. You might be priced right out of that market. Okay? So there is really no effective protections for those with pre-existing conditions in this version of the bill. The other piece of this is it's really very damaging to those in Medicaid, both the expansion population and all others right now. So yeah, they put in a little piece that's going to protect children with special needs, but they're gutting the rest of Medicaid. And so all children, our parents that are in long-term care, other individuals, those with disabilities, all of them are going to have cuts in the types of health care that is provided to them, because the Senate version of this bill cuts the amount of funds that would go to state even more dramatically than the Senate does, or excuse me, the House does. Yeah. And I think the other piece to note is just even if they made it super rich the way that the funding was going to increase in per capita caps, it creates a structure that allows Congress to cut Medicaid every time they have a budget bill. So you saw Trump's budget bill cut another $600 billion out of Medicaid. Not going to happen anytime they go to the budget. It changes the whole dynamic of how we provide health care for the vulnerable. So I think those are a few things you want to really pay attention to. On the whole, I cannot imagine that we're not going to see 20 million plus still losing coverage as part of this Senate bill. Are we doing questions, or am I?
Diane, I think we'll just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you for that information. And now I think we're all kind of itching to get to the next portion of this event, which is the strong message that we really need to send to Senator Portman, that what will happen if he votes for this bill is people in Ohio will die. And we are here to represent those people who will die as a result of the AHCA. So we're here to do a die-in today, and that means that even on this chilly, rainy day and on this concrete, we are going to lie down and represent the people of Ohio who will die when they lose health care. And as people are lying down representing the dead, we will do a bit of a chant. It's going to be a rolling chant, so I'm going to change the front portion of the chant, and then you will all respond, health care now. So you can follow along that way. So everybody, let's represent the people who will die as a result of the
So, everyone, we see all these bodies on the ground. It feels a little uncomfortable and awkward, but this is a somber occasion. These people represent people who will die as a result of the AHCA. These people suffered from common medical conditions and they lost coverage for their health care. So we're going to do
It's got a whole different story.
So we're being asked to move off of the property. I'm gonna go chat about that. Let's go down to the sidewalk, please.
We were told it was okay, sir. Yeah.
It looks like the security have asked the protesters to leave the premises.
Help care now!
Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now! Health care now!
If you're just joining us, we are at a Columbus die-in outside of Senator Portman's office. There are about 50 people here. These die-ins are happening at all of Senator Portman's offices around the state: Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Toledo. Ohio citizens are outraged that Senator Portman is getting ready to vote to take away the health care of thousands of Ohioans, leading in deaths and bankruptcies for many people.
Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up the fight. Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up the fight. Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up this fight.
We've been told that at the Cincinnati office, Senator Portman locked his doors on his constituents, refusing to meet with them, refusing to engage with them as he's done throughout this entire process.
Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up this fight. Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up this fight. Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up this fight. Healthcare is a human right. We will not.
All right, we have everybody moved in closer to the building to leave a space for people to pass by on the sidewalk. Oh yeah, sorry, maybe you'll move in. Okay, and then we leave a space right here so people can get into the building. Which one to the side?
Step out from the box.
Okay, so as we get rearranged, I will go outside again.
Excuse me, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about why you're here today?
Sure.
So first off, what is your name and where are you from?
Carolina Lopez Ruiz. I'm a U.S. citizen, but I grew up in Spain.
And what brought you out today to Senator Portman's office to participate in this die-in?
Well, I don't believe in any private insurance that is exclusively private. I think most civilized countries have a two-tier system where there is public health care for everybody, and then there's private insurance for those who want that. And I cannot believe we are debating this even when Obamacare it was still a private system, but it covers so many more people. I cannot believe we're going backwards even beyond that. I mean, before that to a more restrictive system. A lot of people millions are going to lose coverage, and it just undermines the basic principle that you start from, offering everybody, maintaining healthcare without waiting for an emergency or something like that. Everybody needs to have insurance, everybody, even if they're healthy and young, it doesn't matter. So, sorry for the lengthy answer.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Carolina.
No problem.
Help the rich and wealthy. Don't be stealthy to help the rich and wealthy. Don't be stealthy to help the rich and wealthy. Don't be stealthy to help the rich and wealthy. Don't be stealthy to help the rich and wealthy. Don't be stealthy to help the rich and wealthy. Don't be stealthy to help the rich and wealthy. Don't be stealthy to help the rich and wealthy. Don't be stealthy to help the rich and wealthy. Don't be stealthy to help the rich and wealthy. Don't be
So here's a twist on an old standard. What do we want? Public hearings. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Public hearings. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Public hearings.
this fight. Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up this fight. Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up this fight. Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up this fight. Healthcare is a human right. We will not give up this fight. Healthcare is a human right.
Now, excuse me, do you mind if, I know you're dead right now and I don't want to interrupt, but do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions about what brought you out today?
Sure, sure.
You don't have to move. So first off, what is your name and where are you from?
My name's Meg. I'm from Cleveland.
Right on. So you came all the way down from Columbus?
I am here today for a conference, so I came to join you guys.
Wow, wow. And so, Meg, can you tell us why this issue matters to you?
Yeah,
what makes it personal?
I'm a physician, so I treat people with severe mental illness and addiction who are coming out of jail and prison. This bill will kill my patients, lead to them overdosing, dying from mental illness, or going back to prison and jail. And that's not okay. Senator Portman says he cares about that population. I believe he does, so he's got to vote no.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Thanks.
Before the two of you leave, do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions about why you decided to come today?
Yes, sure.
Okay. And is it okay if we kind of switch positions so that the viewers on Facebook Live can see what's happening in the background?
Sure.
So first step, what are your names and where are you from?
I'm Deborah. I'm from like 2 hours that way.
Okay, like District 6, Belmont County area said. Yeah. And I'm Paoli and I'm her sister.
Oh, right on. Okay, we got two sisters. I'm Stu, by the way.
Hi, hey.
So the two of you traveled to be here today?
Yeah, we came with my mom's over there.
Yeah.
Right
She was
on.
coming and she was like, you guys want to come?
Wow.
So we came.
So why did you make that choice? Why did you come out today to this die-in?
Honestly, mostly because I didn't have any plans, and I was like, that sounds like something fun.
Ow! Because it's important for people to have health care and to be able to live their lives without dying.
I'm not lying about it.
I'm not lying. It is important.
That's why I came. Stop hitting me.
I'm not lying. It is important.
Stop hitting me. Anyway.
So can I ask you, what is personal about this issue of healthcare? How does this affect you and people that you care about?
Well, it's grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, grandma has like a and she has congestive heart failure.
Yeah, she has like tons of heart issues. She's been in the hospital a bunch. I don't know 100%.
And she's like living on like what's it called, a stipend?
I don't know.
She gets like an allowance every month, and it's not very much, so she can't really afford to like pay huge medical bills. So she has to be able to afford her heart surgery and stuff.
Yeah. And if you all could talk to Senator Portman, what would you say to him?
Ohioans are going to die if this whole thing's a shitty idea. I mean, it is.
Why? Why do you think it's a bad idea?
People can't afford that. I mean, like, I don't know tons of stuff about it because I'm not widely versed in the ways of politics or whatever. But it's not like
And there are also
no, it's just not good. And you shouldn't put forward like a healthcare bill that will affect millions and millions of people without having public hearings and without having people get a chance to look at it and see if it's a good thing for them or not. Because it's for the people of America, and if people of America can't see it and decide if they like it or not, then it's just, there's no point.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you two very much for coming, and thanks for sharing why you're here with us.
Senator Portman votes no. Now we're going to let the students come off the ground out of the way. So we'll still stand with our friends. Stand up for Ohio! 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 Stand up for Ohio, everyone! Stand up for Ohio! What do we want? Healthcare! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Healthcare! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Healthcare! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Healthcare! When do we want it? Now! Let's make sure we're still moving our path on the sidewalk. We gotta move it. Yeah, we've gotta move our path on the center of the steps here and a path on the sidewalk. So if we can scoot in closer to the building and inside.
Our buddy's gone.
So, for a final chance, let's tell Senator Portman that we want him to fight for the democratic process, fight for transparency, fight for doing things with constituent input. That's what America's about. So, tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Everybody, thank you for fighting for health care. I'll still be out here for a little while. I hope you'll join me. But before you leave today, everyone please make a stop inside and at least fill out a comment card for Senator Portman. Tell him what you think. It's his time to listen to us, to his constituents. And keep calling, keep letting him know what we think.
We have this was a live fed to Indivisible
Columbus District 3, our public page. So look for that, then you can share it. Spread it out on social media, on Twitter. Share your own photos and videos. Hashtags. What was our hashtag? Dying. Ohio OH dying. Right? Ohio dying. Thank you. Ohio dying. So hashtag Ohio dying. Hashtag don't rob our care. Hashtag Ohio dying. Okay. Tweet at Senator Portman. Don't forget to respond to his question on Facebook and Twitter about your opinion. And just make sure your message on social media. Thanks for showing us what America looks like and what democracy looks like.
Excuse me. I'm on Facebook Live with Indivisible District 3 and was wondering if I could ask you all a couple questions about why you decided to come today.
Yeah, definitely.
So first, I'm Stu. What are your names and where are you from?
My name is Diana. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Alana, Cleveland, Ohio.
Right on. And do you live in Cleveland and traveled all the way here? Or you
No,
live in
we go
Columbus
to school
Okay, right.
at Ohio State, so both live here. Yeah.
So why did the two of you decide to come today to this die-in protest?
We're both medical students at Ohio State, so we want to be here for our patients, for our communities, fighting for healthcare for all.
So, how is this issue personal for you and people that you care about?
I think as we keep on learning in our curriculum about the ways that you can prevent a lot of diseases early on, it becomes really apparent that not allowing everyone to have healthcare is really killing people.
Yeah, what she said, I mean, it's all about catching people before they're even sick, and if we don't have healthcare for all, people are going to get sick, then we're going to pay more in the end, and people are going to die. So it's just, there's no way that we can keep living in a country where people don't have healthcare, so we need to keep fighting.
Yeah. And if you could talk with Senator Portman, what would you tell him? What would you say?
Take care of your people. We need healthcare.
Yeah. I know that Portman cares a lot about the opioid epidemic, and I really want him to take into consideration that Medicaid expansion is responsible for a lot of the treatment in Ohio, about half, I think.
Yeah. And also, infant mortality is a huge issue that we have in Ohio, and the highest rates are among the poorest people, the most underserved communities, and without healthcare, from the time that someone's born to the time that before they're pregnant to the time that they're pregnant and to pediatric care, we need everyone to have that healthcare to keep fighting all of these epidemics we have, like opioid, infant mortality, and just all the chronic conditions that we're facing today.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you both very much for coming, and thanks for sharing your stories. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. Thank you so much for tuning in online. You can share this video with others if you'd like. And remember, get on those phones, give Senator Portman a call, let him know your thoughts and your feelings about this health care bill. All right, thanks a lot. Take care.